Remember, sex is like pizza. When it's good, and when it's bad, it's still pretty good. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Code 1 Mechanical. I'm going to be installing a heater in my garage today now that the weather is going to be turning nicer. Perfect. Anyway, let me show you what we got here. So here we have a little Dyna-Glow heater. This one's only 5,000 watt. This is a little guy. It's probably too small for the size of my garage. It says that these are good for 500 square foot, but anywho, I got this guy on Amazon for 67 bucks because it was an open box. Huh? Good deal. Anywho, I'll show you. I had an electrician wire up 240 volt to the garage, and that ended up being right in here. So I got 240 coming from inside the house, from the main panel over to this sub panel or load bank, whatever they're called. Anywho, I've got these 2-gauge aluminum service entrance wire. Then I've got 10 gauge going up the wall in the attic, over and down, and there is an outlet up there on the wall. Now the instructions on this thing said that it needs to be hardwired in, but I'm going to use one of these dryer plugs just so that I'm able to, one of these guys, to be able to unplug it and pull it down from the wall and whatnot. Ooh, look at that. How much is that worth now? Way too much. Anywho, I'm going to be wiring this straight into the heater. To the back of it, there's knockouts on the sides and on the back, so I'll put a knockout with a clamp to hold it, and then plug that into the wall and be able to hang it from there. Now these come with this bracket, and you can adjust the bracket where you want it. So you can, if you put it here, then it becomes a wall mount, but I'm going to be mounting it on the ceiling. And I think I'm going to want this 45-degree angle. It has a few options, so you can put 2 screws through there to hang it up into the ceiling, or you can do one center one so that you can pivot it. I want to pivot it, but I wasn't too happy with just hanging it from one bolt. I was afraid it might be rock a little bit, so I quickly thought of an idea using a caster. This one's over from Hobo Freight, medium duty caster. Okay, now that's got ball bearing up top. So I'm thinking about mounting that to there, right in the middle. We'll figure out how to do that in a second. But this side, right, how's the wheel going to attach to the ceiling? Let me show you. So what I'm going to do, this is already loose, but I'm going to take that out, take the wheel out. That might be useful for something. Anywho, I'm going to use this on a 2x4. So I'm going to put this 2x4 in the ceiling, grabbing 2 joists. And this fits perfectly right into there. Huh? Look at that. So I'm going to drill a hole through here and put the existing hardware, so this bolt, through there. And that'll hold it. And then I'll be able to pivot this whichever way I want it. Feels a little more secure to me. I don't know. We'll see how that works. So I've got my 2x4 pre-drilled lag screws. They're like 4 or 5 inches or whatever. I don't know. They look cool. They're construction lag screws. This should be good. But drilled them all the way through. And I'm going to go ahead and find my 2 studs or trusses, stringer, whatever you want to call them, up on the ceiling. And then I'll figure out where I'm going to mount it. Got my 2x4 up there on the ceiling. Pretty secure, you know. That ain't going anywhere. Perfect. Down here, drill 2 holes on my mounting bracket, and then I also drilled 2 holes on here, and I've got some 7/16 bolts going through there, so that'll fit right onto there. Got some nuts and washers to go on the other side. Remember guys, always wash your nuts. Next step is to wire this thing up, so we got to remove this screw here. So in here we're going to connect our 2 wires to our plug to L1 and L2, and then the ground. And this side, the 1 and the 2, is for an external thermostat. I'm not going to use one right now, maybe another time. But there's a switch in the back that lets you select which to use, the onboard temperature control or the external thermostat. Oh, my Bikina batteries aren't charging. We're going to be using this 3/4 knockout, and I've got a 3/4 cable connector. So this will just squeeze down on the cables and keep them from getting pulled out. There you go. I'm going to use my spanner, 3/4. Tight. Yep, perfect. Alright, I got my dryer cable here. Comes with connectors here, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this and this off because these are lugs. But I will leave the ground one because that'll fit perfectly into there whenever I loosen that screw up. There we go. There she is, hanging up. Nice. Contact. We've got power. Show you guys this. I had to put a shim here because I didn't drill my hole right. So if the shim's out, it kind of moves back and forth this way a bit, pivots on that bolt basically. So I added a shim, and now I'm able to, look at that, easy. No problem, and I can angle it different ways. I can reach up with a stick, you know, because we're up here. But this'll, it's smooth. Look at that. Pretty cool. Let's turn it on. Oh yeah, we'll let that get warm. And we have it on 5,000. Got it aimed right at us. Let's check temperature. Ooh, 100 and, yeah, it's getting warm. What's the wall? 38 degrees. I gotta insulate this garage, but that is gonna do great. Well, it's a wrap. Remember, sex is like pizza. When it's good, and when it's bad, it's still pretty good. These triplex breakers come in handy. Got a box with only 4 spots, but I got 4 breakers right there. Well, 3. 1, 2, 3. Pretty cool. But we got it running. Got the manual thermostat set. Let me get up here in this ladder. Might hear some wind noise, but I've got it right about above that second red line, and that's, oh, perfect. Look at that, turned off. And that seems to be about 50 degrees, give or take, I don't know, 5, 8 degrees or something. It's got a pretty big swing, but that's all right. That just means it stays on a little longer and stays off a little longer. That. Why is it sideways? Well, I cut the box. I traced the box, and didn't realize it was sideways. But oh well, that'll be all right. I do have a plan to use one of these 20s to put a ceiling fan. It's kind of like a shop fan, goes on the ceiling or the wall, but I want to go up there on the ceiling next to the heater. Then I have another 20 that I can run, say another dedicated 20 amp outlet, and then down here I can put a 50 amp breaker and do electric car charger or what have you. Anywho, thanks for sticking around. Make sure to watch that video over there. Hit that subscribe. As always, take care.